West Africa is on the verge of making history. A group of countries on the continent is working together to create a brand new shared currency called the ECO, and if everything goes according to plan, it could launch as early as July 2027. Up to 15 nations would use it, including economic heavyweights like Nigeria and Ghana. Most people around the world have no idea this is even happening, but it could change the way Africa does business, and it could shake up the global financial system in ways that affect everyone. So what exactly is the ECO, and why does it matter so much? To answer that, we need to go back in time. For decades, 8 West African countries have been using a currency called the CFA franc. On the surface, this might sound like a normal currency arrangement, but the reality is far more complicated. The CFA franc was created in 1945 by France, when these countries were still under French colonial rule. France told its African colonies that this was a gift, a way to protect them from financial instability. But behind the generous language was a system built to keep African wealth flowing back to Europe. Here is how it worked. The CFA franc was fixed to the French franc and later to the euro, meaning its value was decided in Europe, not in Africa. In exchange for this so-called stability, member countries were required to deposit half of all their foreign exchange reserves, basically the money they earned from exports and trade, into a special account held at the French treasury in Paris. Not in their own banks, not in their own countries, in Paris. That means half the wealth generated by these nations was sitting in France, where African governments had little say over how it was used. France also had seats on the boards of the central banks that printed and managed the CFA franc, giving it real power over African monetary policy. And in 1994, France made a decision that showed exactly what that power meant. Without asking African leaders, France devalued the CFA franc by 50% overnight. African presidents were told about it after the fact, and asked to simply sign off. The result was devastating. Prices for everyday goods doubled almost instantly. Hundreds of millions of ordinary people watched their savings lose half their value in a single night. For years, economists and ordinary citizens across Africa called the CFA franc what it was, a colonial currency. The pressure to change it grew louder and louder. In 2019, France responded by announcing reforms. The reserve requirement would be dropped, France would step back from the central bank boards, and the currency would be renamed the ECO. It sounded like a breakthrough, but there was a catch nobody could ignore. The currency would still be pegged or tied to the euro. Critics pointed out that as long as the peg remained, Africa was still financially dependent on Europe, just under a different name. That is where the broader group of West African nations, known as ecowas, comes in. This group includes not just the CFA franc countries, but also nations like Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and others that have never used the CFA franc at all. These countries want a different kind of ECO, one that is completely independent, not tied to the euro or the dollar, and fully controlled by Africans through a brand new institution called the Central Bank of West Africa. In December 2025, leaders from across the region met in Abuja, Nigeria, and reaffirmed their commitment to launching this independent ECO by July 2027. Then, in February 2026, central bank governors from 12 countries gathered in Monrovia, Liberia, for 3 days of detailed meetings to push the plan forward. The economic signs were encouraging. The region grew by 4.8% in 2025, inflation was coming down, and more countries than ever before were meeting the financial targets required to join the currency union. But why should someone outside West Africa care about any of this? Because this is not just a story about Africa. It is a story about money, power, and who gets to control both. Right now, the world runs on the US dollar. Nearly 60% of all global financial reserves are held in dollars. Almost 90% of all international currency transactions involve the dollar. Oil is priced in dollars. When two countries in different parts of the world want to trade with each other, they usually do it in dollars, even if neither of them is American. This gives the United States enormous influence over the global economy. It also means that when America decides to freeze someone out of the financial system, as it did with Russia after the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, it can cause immediate and serious damage. African nations understand this vulnerability better than most. A currency that you do not control, pegged to one you do not print, rooted through financial systems built by others, is a source of weakness, not strength. The ECO is, at its heart, an attempt to build something different. If the ECO launches and works as planned, Nigeria and Ghana, for example, would no longer need to convert their currencies to dollars just to trade with each other. Right now, that conversion process involves fees, exchange rate risks, and exposure to decisions made by the US Federal Reserve that have nothing to do with African trade. With the ECO, the transaction happens directly between two countries using one shared currency they both control. Multiply that across 15 nations, and the savings in time, money, and financial risk become enormous. And the ripple effects could go much further. If West Africa proves that an independent African currency can work, it becomes a model for the rest of the continent. East Africa and Southern Africa have both explored similar ideas for years. A successful ECO could give them the blueprint and the confidence to follow through. Across a continent of 1.4 billion people, that kind of shift would slowly but surely reduce Africa's dependence on the dollar and the euro in ways that would be felt globally. This is already part of a bigger worldwide trend. Countries in the BRICS group, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have been building alternative payment systems and trading more in their own currencies. Saudi Arabia has signaled it is open to selling oil in currencies other than the dollar. Central banks around the world are buying gold at record levels to reduce their dependence on the dollar. The dollar's share of global reserves has already dropped from over 70% 2 decades ago to around 59% today. The shift is slow, but it is real. None of this means the ECO will be easy to pull off. The challenges are enormous. Member countries currently have very different inflation rates, different debt levels, and different economic realities. Building a brand new central bank from scratch, printing and distributing a new currency across 15 nations, and coordinating economic policy across governments with different priorities is genuinely difficult. The West African Monetary Agency has admitted they are behind schedule, with dozens of critical tasks still to be completed before the 2027 deadline. There is also political resistance. France has benefited from the CFA franc system for 80 years and will not simply walk away. Leaders in CFA franc countries face real pressure to stay within the French-backed system. And history carries dark warnings for those who have tried to break free before. But here is the thing: even if the ECO stumbles, even if it launches late or faces early problems, the effort itself matters. It builds institutions, trains experts, creates legal frameworks, and most importantly, it sends a message that African countries are no longer willing to accept financial arrangements designed by others for their own benefit. The story of the ECO is the story of a continent deciding that its economic future belongs to its own people. Whether it succeeds completely, partially, or takes longer than expected, the direction is clear. Africa is building something new, and the world should be paying attention.